What's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday. How we doing?
I'm back.
Brooks is on mute, but he's in California. He's Cali Swag District today.
What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Hey.
Good, man. How's California? Look at that little palm tree action you got going behind you.
It's good, man. It's waiting on the marine layer to burn off this morning, and then gonna head to the beach here in a little bit and hanging out with some friends and some family, and we're gonna be here for a week, knocking out everything, seeing everybody. So it's gonna be a good time.
Is that a hotel you're at right now, or are you someone's house?
No, we're at a friend's house.
Oh yeah.
I got some landscaping going on in the background if you can't hear it.
Actually, pretty good that we can't hear it as of right now, but we're definitely going to be hearing some children in and out, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we got some children, some chillins running around. So,
is it grandma doing the landscaping duty?
Yeah. I don't know. Next door neighbors.
I like the reference there, Brian, because that movie comes out this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Happy Gilmore too. I'm excited. I saw Scottie was doing a bunch of media for it. I think the Hollywood premiere was last night, and he was on Fallon last night, and so I think it was Sandler as well. Mm-hmm. It was a great weekend. How was y'all's weekend, Brian? How you doing with everything?
The weekend was all right. I mean, I worked 2 days. I'm not drinking. I got a little medical thing going on. Kind of sucks. That's why I'm currently eating. I'm told to eat healthy snacks by my doctor yesterday. So I'm eating honey grams with honey. Now, I got a question for you guys before we get into our weekends. Honey comes from bees. Why is it a bear? Shouldn't it be a bee?
I think bears like honey too, Brian, right?
they do, but it doesn't come from a bear. It comes from a bee.
True.
Why does the Easter Bunny lay eggs? Because bunnies don't lay eggs.
Yeah, all right.
Why are boobs good?
Yeah, they just are.
Other than that, my weekend was all right. I tried to lay low. Anytime I wasn't working, I was literally just in the house. Like I was telling you guys before we went live. Just thank you, Laura.
Winnie the Pooh. Never heard of him? He loves honey.
Nipples, Greg?
I just basically stayed in the house, watched on TV, and played with my dog.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Played with what?
Well,
with little Carlos.
Not that little.
I didn't help myself there at all, did I?
Yeah, no, you did not. You did not. Oh, man. A little bit of a frustrating Oriole game last night. I know we always kind of start off with the sad Orioles, but we are a fan of this seemingly cursed franchise that can't get its feet off the ground. It seems like we finally take a step forward and then we take 2 steps backward every time. I will say, despite the loss last night and Wolfram just refusing to throw strikes when he needs to, Jackson Holliday seems like he's really getting into a groove right now, coming out of the All-Star break and even going into the All-Star break. So I think that's a nice positive to take from the last couple games. Ramon Laureano continues to stay hot for the Orioles at the dish. We put up some runs last night, but yeah, it's just been frustrating. We can't keep the runs off the board, and our buddy Steve Sugano has been struggling. Brooks, do you think Sugano's struggles are like a lack of command, or do you think it's more just the stuff's not playing as well anymore? What do you think about
that? Both. It's not that like the stuff's not like it's just not moving the way he wants it to, and the lack of command as well. I mean, I was kind of in and out of last night's game just being out here, so I didn't watch it terribly closely. But it's always going to be a little bit of lack of command, and it's going to be, I mean, from what I saw before the All-Star break, it's just the stuff's not moving that great. I mean, it's moving, but it's very flat movement. It's not as much vertical movement. I'm much more of a fan of vertical movement than I am horizontal movement, unless you're going from in the zone to out of the zone or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that's my quick and dirty analysis without actually watching closely pitch by pitch. But it's frustrating that you get a 3-0 lead in the first inning and then give it right back up. And obviously the game changed drastically towards the end, but that's just frustrating.
Yeah.
And like you said, if we take a couple steps forward, it feels like we get moving a little bit and then sputter again. And then, like, obviously we've seen that guys are starting to do the rehab assignments, and it just feels like little too late. So
Tomo's tipping pitches, Joe says. I heard a lot of people talking about this. I haven't seen video on it, so I don't know if I'd be able to pick it up or what's going on. I guess I should have paid attention a little bit more closely last night.
I watched Pigtown stuff on this. It's he does it on every pitch, so I don't know if he's tipping them or not. Because what Zach was saying, Pigtown Sports, he was saying he's tapping or he's patting before he's throwing certain pitches, but he does it on every pitch just about that I can see. There's not a ton of rhyme or reason to it at times, but it seems like he does it, if not on every pitch, most pitches. So I don't know that that's what it is, because that's what they're saying it is, or if it's something else, or if he is tipping pitches or not. I do need to – I actually will go back and watch last night's game and see if I can pick up on anything. It's a little harder to do from the back. It also could be something where somebody's picking up grips in his glove from either second or first base, and relaying signs. So I need to go back and look and actually pay attention and watch.
What's up, Antonio? How you doing today? Always good to have you in here. How about Scottie Scheffler? Yeah, we will talk about Scottie Scheffler in length in a little bit, but we will talk about this Orioles stuff first. Going to the other side of the diamond last night, Jose Ramirez is one of our podcast favorites. Recorded last night his 7th 2020 season as he hit a homer against the Orioles. Only 5 players in MLB history have 7 or more. 2 more have 7, 1 has 9, and 2 have 10. Can you name any of them, guys?
Say that again.
Only 5 other players have at least 7 2020 seasons all time. Can you name them?
5 other players. Well, Barry Bonds off the bat.
Barry Bonds had 10.
Why did Eric Davis come to my head right away?
Eric Davis had 7 as well.
That's a great pool.
Former Oriole great Eric Davis.
Yeah. I don't think Griffey did.
No.
He wasn't the most prolific base stealer after his first few years.
One of them's going to kick us in the ass, man.
Ricky Henderson.
Nope. He did not do it.
Michael Young?
Nope. He did not do it.
I think I hit like 25 or 25. Like, that's just where Michael Young was.
That was his ceiling, but he hit his ceiling every time. So
yeah. Kenny Lofton.
You guys want some hints or no?
Yeah.
One of them went absolutely bananas in a home run derby that we were at.
Josh Hamilton?
Nope.
Or Bobby Abreu?
Bobby Abreu had 9. Couldn't believe
that. I always forget that Abreu stole some bases.
He stole a bunch of bases, yeah. Another one is the father of somebody you've already mentioned.
Matt Holliday? Somebody I already mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is bad. I don't know.
Bobby Bonds also had 10 such seasons of 20 homers and 20 stolen bases. The only 2 players in MLB history to have 10 are Barry and Bobby Bonds. Bobby Abreu had 9, and joining Eric Davis and Jose Ramirez with 7 is Carlos Beltran, who also had 7. But yeah, it's just a cool little club that he's a part of. Obviously, like, those are unbelievable
Bobby Bonds,
names.
really?
Yeah, Bobby Bonds, man. I would have thought Steve Finley would have been in there. I would have thought a couple other guys, maybe Trout, would have been in there. But yeah, it just goes to show how awesome and consistent of a player that J-Ram is. But anyway, I just wanted to put that little piece of trivia out there because we don't do trivia as much as we used to, and I like it. But yeah, game last night was really, really frustrating. Just thought it was going to be a good one based on the start, and then like Brooks said, you give up the 3 runs back straight away, and it just changes the whole momentum of the game going forward. And then we get into a situation where we have bases loaded, no outs. I think it's in the 6th inning, and it's 6-5 bad guys. And Wolfram's got 2 outs in a row. He struck out 2 straight guys, and then just walked 2 straight batters. Couldn't find the zone for a couple.
How did the 2 guys get on before J Ram's home run?
I can't remember.
Were they walks?
I don't know. I was at
Any
work, so
walks?
I was in and out. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. I'm curious on that. And also, you bring up Wolfram again. You remember when Orioles fans were freaking out about him being sent down and calling for Elias's head again over that because he had a great outing? Like, I just want to reiterate, like, these guys know more than we do. They watch a ton more of the minor league games. They know what's going on a whole lot more than we do. And the fact that, like, Orioles Twitter just thinks that they're smarter than guys at times just really frustrates me. Like, we all saw it. Like, he had that great outing. We wanted to see more of him. We've seen more of him, and he hasn't been like that. He hasn't been very impressive, to be honest with you. So maybe they knew something. So
yeah. Antonio asks, any of the Orioles players on short-term contracts really attracted to other teams other than O'Hearn, Eflin, Mullins, Laureano? Yeah, I think you could see Sugano in there. I think you could see Charlie Morton in there. I think you could see, as Nick says, a couple of these guys: Soto, Dominguez, Andrew Kittredge. I don't think Felix will be gone, but it's certainly possible based on what offers are out there on the table. I think we could see a lot of these guys move. I don't think all of them will. It'll be some of them. But I think we're going to move some of these veteran guys on 1-year deals. And we've said this ad nauseum over the course of the past couple of weeks. So I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I can see us moving certainly at least a few of these guys. I think Laureano is pretty much gone. I think O'Hearn's pretty much gone, which sucks because they've been 2 of our most consistent players, but they're going to try to get the young guys more at bats. And at this point, it seems like the season has gotten away from us. I know that it's still technically possible. Anything is possible, but just based on the consistency that we're seeing out of the team or the lack thereof, it just doesn't look like it's going to be in the cards for us to make a run here late in the season. And it also sucks. We found out over the course of the weekend that G-Rod, who was supposed to be our best pitcher, or one of our best pitchers coming into the season, has been shut down again. It looks like his season is all but over. I think Brooks has been calling this since we found out about the injury earlier in the year. He said he didn't think G-Rod would pitch this year. I
was hopeful when he started going through his throwing progressions again. And I kept tabs on it here during the podcast, like how his progressions were going. It seemed like he was going to make it back, actually. But the injury that he has again is the same one from spring training. Like, he's gone from elbow from spring training, rehabbing that, to hurting his shoulder, to rehabbing his shoulder. Now he went back to elbow again. And what is that? That's overcompensation because something's going on. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of there's something inevitable coming here soon, I think. So.
We're not trying to skew negative, and we're hoping G-Rod can get healthy and get back for next season. But based on his injury,
he's going to be frustrated as hell.
I'm sure. Based on his injury history at this point, and being so young still, with all these injuries, it doesn't bode well for his future. And I'm really trying to stay positive here with him, because I don't want to say he's done or he's cooked or anything like that. It's too early to jump to those kind of conclusions, but I know I've seen a lot of it on Orioles Twitter, and we're talking about it. And obviously it comes into my head. It's scary. I don't know.
I'm never going to say he's done, just because it takes a lot for careers to end these days with injuries, but he cost himself a lot of money, or the Orioles cost him, whoever's to blame here. And it's going to be another setback. I mean, this could end up working out in the Orioles' favor if they want to sign him earlier than later.
Yeah.
If they feel confident that he's going to come back from this, but who knows at this point. But all I'm saying, I would be so frustrated if I were him, and he's cost himself a lot of money. Obviously, he doesn't want to be on the DL. So,
should the O's consider at any level keeping a vet like Laureano in the outfield next year? Is that going to be O'Neill? Yeah, I think you'd want to in an ideal world. But the problem is O'Neill is under a 3-year contract with the team. Laureano is only under a 1-year contract with the team. That's why he is more more likely to be traded. And also, he's just performing flat out. He's been performing way better than Tyler O'Neill this year.
And it's a player option, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, would I like to see Laureano on the team next year? Absolutely. But if we can get somebody for him at the deadline, I think he's most likely gone. And then maybe you could try to get him back in free agency if you want to go that way. O'Neill, I mean, look, it's a 3-year, $59 million deal, I believe is what it was. It's not looking great as of right now. We think O'Neill is picking up that option. Honestly, I would think O'Neill is going to be picking up any player option that he can because he has been performing terribly.
Nobody's going to give him more money, so he's definitely going to pick up this year.
No, at least this year. And if he plays well next year, then it's a win-win for him. He can go. He can opt out and get another contract, and it's a win-win for us because we would have a guy playing well. Which he is not doing so far this season. And he's not been on the field a lot either, which is the story of the 2025 Orioles in a nutshell.
We can't even keep the broadcasters in the booth.
Yeah, I know. Ben McDonald went down too. How about all that? That was nuts.
Tree stand broke on him, I guess.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't an alligator. Got to take the positives here.
That's true. I guess that's true. We can't.
That's still an alligator.
We can't even keep the announcers in the booth.
Bubble. Man. I saw somebody on Twitter say bubble wrap Kevin Brown. For heaven's sake.
Make him Bubble Boy. I love it.
So I mean, we can keep talking about the Orioles until we're blue in the face, but it's sad, and we keep talking about negatives, and I'm pretty done with that, and I'm trying to stay positive moving forward here. So I think that's enough Orioles stuff for now. We'll get more into depth on the trade deadline stuff as it comes. We've got about a week and a half now. I believe it's next Thursday, right?
Sounds about right.
The 31st.
Yeah, and that's what we all kind of said. Like the 2 weeks after the All-Star break, we're going to be very telling about where this team was going to be. Obviously, they come out flat, so you can kind of see where we're headed. It's not going to be a full sell. We're going to get rid of those 1-year contracts unless somebody comes and knocks our socks off for Felix or something like that. I can't see us moving from him, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we did. Like, I mean, we didn't think, like he said, Brian Baker wasn't in the cards to be traded, but they came and pretty much gave us an offer we couldn't refuse. So, so we'll see. I mean,
before we get off the Orioles, I guess just one last thing. Some good news coming out of the Orioles organization is that the top three draft picks that we drafted have all already signed. That being Davis. Is that what was that? Huh?
Irish.
Irish. Sorry, why did I say Irish? Aloy, and what was the other guy's name? I can't remember. The other catcher.
Catcher.
Yeah. Carter or something like that.
No. Bodine, something like that.
Carter Bodine, I think his first name was Carter. Yeah. Anyway, that's good news. You don't always see that in baseball, and this is going back.
You got full slot money, which is awesome.
Yep. And
good for those guys.
Going back to what we were talking about last week when people were frustrated, we took the first two guys we took were catchers. Look, you're trying to get the best guys in. You're trying to get guys who are going to sign. You're trying to get guys with hit tools and the guys your scouts like. So the good news of all of it is that regardless of what do you think of the prospects, is that we got them in the door. Now it's just it's up to the staff and up to the players to fulfill their potential. But I think that was a positive coming out of the Orioles camp. We need some positive. So
and to segue onto the segue, this is great. Look what we're doing today here, boys. Did anyone get a chance to see the very odd situation that ended the Phillies Red Sox game last night?
I did. I watched it. I watched it live at the Green Turtle. I have a regular who's a Phillies fan, and he was telling me, he was like, "Dude, I think we just won on catcher's interference."
Catcher's interference. Going with the catcher's thing.
Yeah.
Bases juice, 10th inning, Brooks, and I forget who's batting for the Red Sox. And
it's for the Phillies.
I'm sorry, batting for the Phillies. I'm sorry. And I don't know who was catching for the Red Sox. I'm bad with the names, but the situation is, whatever the pitch was, he goes to swing, and he almost does like a checked swing, but he clips. I mean, he blatantly clips not like the tip of the catcher's mitt. He hits like the hand part.
Yeah.
So it was bad.
Yeah.
But the guy didn't even give a full swing. Now, who knows if he didn't give a full swing because he clipped the glove or if he was going to take the pitch.
I think it was the first time that a game in extra innings has been decided via catcher's interference in like 56 years or something like that. Which is crazy.
That kind of has me thinking. We saw a spike in catcher's interferences there for a few years with people trying to get catchers way up under there, and I feel like that's gone away here. Well, drastically decreased the last couple of years.
Yeah, I haven't noticed it as much for sure.
Yeah.
Just something you don't really see all too much. Lil Slay is the only main unsigned one left. Yeah, I think yes. That's the dude that we drafted. That's like 5'6" or 5'7", who's supposed to be like just a super scrappy kind of player.
Yeah, one of our other guys opted for college for Kansas or something like that. I think I forget where he's going, but
have fun in Topeka.
I think it's actually Lawrence.
Whatever. It's Kansas. It's the same. Sorry, Kansasites.
This sounds
Hopefully I'm right. Hopefully I'm right. That's where he's going. I can't remember where he's going.
He's actually going to Pepperdine, which is like way different.
Going to Pepperdine. I like that. Pepperdine's awesome.
Yeah, Pepperdine is awesome.
Other news around the league, one of the best nicknames in baseball, Dick Mountain, otherwise known as Rich Hill, has been called up and will start against the Chicago Cubs at age 45. Is this Jamie Moyer 2.0 or what?
Yep.
He had 10 Ks in AAA the other day, by the way. How awesome is that?
Like, he's not even – it's not like he's even deceptive, like in missing barrels. He's just striking people out. Like,
his curveball his curveball drops the length of my body. I'm 6'3".
I mean, I think he throws it like 65 miles an hour, or 68 miles an hour.
He debuted 2-mile-an-hour heater looked like a 95-mile-an-hour.
He debuted, by the way, in 2005. He played for the Orioles in 2009. I was a freshman in high school. He's been pitching forever.
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years in the bigs. Good for him. He's had some pretty good years. He pitched 2 years
later
ago
on in his career.
2 years ago for the Pirates, he started 22 games. He had 22 games with a 4.7. I mean, it's not great, but he's pitching. Last year he pitched 4 games for the Sox.
He's eating innings.
Yeah,
I think like 6-7 years ago, he made an all-star team with the A's.
It's certainly possible.
I would also love to know how many teams he's pitched for.
I can count them right now. Would you like me to?
Let's guess.
Over under 10.
I'm gonna go over.
I think it's over. I have them in front of me. So
bad line. Then let's say 14.
We're gonna go in reverse chronological order.
I was gonna go 11.5 for the number.
And I'm not even counting the team he's getting ready to play for here in this. But maybe I should.
Do it.
He's starting for the Royals. I don't know if he's already pitched for the Royals in his past. Yeah, he already has. Or maybe he has. Anyway, we're going Red Sox, Pirates, Padres, Tampa, New York Mets, Minnesota Twins, LA Dodgers. Sorry, I got to scroll down. Oakland Athletics, Red Sox again. We don't count that. Yankees, Angels, Cleveland, Red Sox again. Doesn't count. Orioles, Cubs. That's 13.
So 14 was the right number. 13.5 was the right number.
He's the Ryan Fitzpatrick of the MLB, I guess. But yeah, doing some Jamie Moyer stuff. Just throwing lefty pus and just trying to get outs, and I love it. That
was the Gilman special that they used to throw against us back in the day when I was in high school. Like we never lost anybody, but when we got upset, it was always by a slow throwing lefty from Gilman, because for whatever reason we popped everything up.
Because everyone's trying to hit home run derby, dude.
Lefty
pus. Including myself.
I'm still letting the lefty pus quaff over me. That's one of the better lines I've heard. Quaff.
Let that pus quaff over you.
Speaking of and this has nothing to do with baseball, but just like weird comments. Somebody said the other day, he was talking about a woman. Just going to leave it there. Said that she's very sumo friendly. He was talking about her body type. I go,
oh no,
you can't say that, dude. You can't. You can't say that.
That's not a thing you should say out loud.
Sumo friendly.
Yeah. Some thoughts need to stay inside thoughts.
Yeah. Like I was like, "Oh, how'd your first date go?" He goes, "Let's just say she was a little sumo friendly and didn't look like her profile picture."
Oh my god!
Oh dear.
Right. We're done
Moving
with this
on.
conversation.
Moving
on to more bad news for the Orioles, but not really bad news. It's good news for him. Kyle Stowers, since June 22nd, has been the best hitter in baseball. He has the most home runs. He has the highest OPS, one of the highest averages. He's got 12 homers in his last, 15 games or something like that. He's been on an absolute tear, especially since the All-Star break and in that game right before the All-Star break where he absolutely cooked the Orioles, went 5 for 5, hit 3 homers. Good for Kyle Stowers. Bad for the O's, who could use a left-handed hitting outfielder. But this is what we got to deal with at this point. And also, in return for Kyle Stowers, we got Trevor Rogers, who's been our most consistent starter over the course of the last 2 months, and he's under team control moving forward. So hopefully we'll be able to bounce back next year and have a great season, and Trevor Rogers will be a huge part of that.
Let's play devil's advocate here. Do you still make that trade knowing what you know right now?
Absolutely not.
You don't think so? You don't. If Trevor Rogers stays the way he is, do you still make that trade?
Well, yeah, but that's a lot of ifs. There's also the possibility that Kyle Stowers is just terrible for the rest of the year and not good anymore.
Exactly.
So,
I think this works out for both teams. We need lefty pitching. Hopefully, Trevor Rogers stays what he is right now, which is one of the best lefty pitchers in the league at the moment. Call it what it is. I mean, we gave Stowers a lot of credit, and he deserves it, but so does Rogers. So let's hopefully this ends up being a deal that we can say like it worked out for both teams, and not just say like, man, we gave up Stowers. Norby's out for the year with a surgery, I think a hand surgery, I believe, or wrist or something like that. But I think this is 10 times out of 10, this worked out for both teams. We got what we needed. There was a log jam in the outfield and we had to pick. Did we pick wrong? Probably, but I think we needed a lefty starter more. Yeah. That's throwing under a 3 ERA right now. So
yeah, I think going back in time, Kyle Stowers was the lower of the him and Kerstad and Kauser and all those guys. He was the lower tier prospect at that point. I think now looking back on it, it might look at it differently. He always was really great in AAA, just never really got consistent at bats in the bigs for the O's. I know a lot of people online are frustrated, but a lot of people are going to be there's a lot of people online that just hate Michael Elias's guts just because we're having a bad
no
year.
matter what he does.
Injuries.
If we kept Stowers, everybody would be very angry that we don't have a good lefty starter at the moment. Yeah. So it's a double-edged sword, right? I mean, it's damned if you do that, damned if you don't. So
I haven't seen the floater pitch since Scuffy McGee. Sorry, we need. Shohei Ohtani last night gave up a leadoff homer to Byron Buxton and then came back in the first inning and hit a 2-run, 441-foot missile to center field. He's the first pitcher. He's the first pitcher since May 17th, 1979 to give up a homer and hit a homer in the first inning of a baseball game. That guy's name was Randy Lurch.
Lurch. Yes.
Randy Lurch. A person I have never heard of until just today.
And how that wasn't your name instead of Willie Mopena, which, by the way, is a great name to put on as your moniker.
Willie Mopena was a stud for the Reds for maybe a year.
Didn't he play for the O's for a year?
He may have.
That up.
Honestly, he may have. I don't know.
During those doldrum years where we had like a double-A lineup.
He did not. No Orioles for him. He did hit 26 homers in 2004 for the Reds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good year.
Yeah. It's a decent little season. Otherwise, I don't really have any other stuff on baseball. We got some trade deadline speculation, like we've said multiple times. We're going to be doing that over the course of the next week on the pod, just because there's so much stuff coming up, and we don't really have any information now. At this point, it's all speculation. I will say the dude for the Diamondbacks, Eugenio Suarez, who's supposed to be like the top hitting candidate, who's going to be moved at the deadline, just keeps hitting nukes. I think he's hitting four home runs in the last 3 games or something like that. So he's going to be, I would say, highly sought after, as Arizona has been well below average this year for their standards.
I know we're getting ready to wrap up baseball stuff, but how about the Brewers? I mean, they got to be talked about. I mean, look, I understand
they're smoking hot,
and they're not in a major market, but damn it, they always seem to show up. They get, Craig Counsell leaves them, goes to the rival Cubs. I think they're neck and neck now. I think they might be identical records.
They're a game ahead of the Cubs now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they've won 11 straight.
That team finds a way. Like the Orioles can't seem to find a way. The Brewers seem to find a way. I'm not trying to bring the Orioles down anymore. Just kind of, if you want to do a comparison between teams that are going the opposite directions, there you go.
That division's loaded too. Milwaukee and Chicago are 2 of the best teams in the they are the 2 best teams in the National League, and then right behind them, St. Louis and Cincinnati, both 3 games above 500 in their own right. So, really, just a tough stretch or tough Central this year. The Pirates are sitting in the basement with Paul Skeens just hoping anybody gives them any runs. Trade deadline show with Ryan Ripken, the anniversary of discovery of Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture. Not sure how we're going to do that this year. We'll see. Last year we were able to do that in person. I don't know what we're going to be able to do. I'm sure Brooks will be in touch with Ryan. So we'll try to get some stuff with Ryan coming up here in the future. And don't forget, if we hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, we were going to be doing a Power Hour show, and maybe Ryan Ripken will be joining at least for a little bit of that. So go subscribe on YouTube if you don't already. Thank you very much. We appreciate you for doing that. Any other stuff on baseball, guys, unless you or you want to move on to the machine that is Scottie Scheffler?
Let's go to the machine.
Yeah. Did you guys watch the Open? What'd you think of it? Did you like the course? Did you like the layout? Did you think it was exciting, or do you think it's boring because Scottie just blew everyone away?
I watched 90% of it. That's not an exaggeration because of what I was going through. What I'm going through. The course wasn't the star, but it definitely factored. I was very intrigued. They showed a full screen graphic of like the bunkers that have been in the last like maybe 5 or 6 Open Championships, and all of them were like 120 bunkers, 110 bunkers, 100 bunkers, all like basically right around triple digits, if not in the triple digits. So this course had 59. So this is more about hills and slanted fairways, and then of course the greens. There were times where even when the weather wasn't bad, guys are still struggling to put up numbers. And usually that's when you see these crazy good golfers just start carving things. Was it boring at the end? Yes. But I like watching greatness. Yeah. I enjoy it. So
yeah, look,
there's like Scottie Scheffler's great, but look, some people like today's society. All right. We love style, right? Not only does Scottie Scheffler have to be really good, he needs to be fucking bombastic and cool and be loud. No, he doesn't. He's a great fucking golfer. I'll take substance. I'll take substance all fucking day. I don't need to watch Stephen A. Smith. All right. People complain that Wayne Gretzky wasn't fucking, really outlandish. No one gave a shit. He was fucking amazing.
People say the same thing about Trout all the time. Like they were talking about Trout for 10 years. Like, he's so boring. He just goes about his business. It's just like, hey, why don't you just let the guy shut up and play baseball? And the same thing with Scottie Scheffler. I love the stuff that he said before the tournament. A lot of people were giving him shit for it. He basically came out and said, like winning these tournaments, it's great, but like I celebrate for like 2-3 minutes or like 20 minutes or whatever. And then, we're just trying to figure out what we're going to eat for dinner. We're going to try to figure out how we're getting home. And then, I'm back to the range on Monday. And he's just like, you don't really get to savor these wins when you're trying to keep continuing to push. And I thought it was just an awesome perspective. And it's something that I never really thought of from these top guys. Like, yeah, like I'm sure if he wanted to take the rest of the season off after he won the PGA and go on like a celebration tour, then he could have done that. But he instead is a machine, and he wants to get back in the lab and win as many golf tournaments as he can.
I don't think he can unless he's injured, because of like all those agreements the PGA Tour has. He would start getting fined for not going to these, whatever they call them. They have like a term, like elite tournaments or whatever.
The elevated events, yeah.
Elevated events. So he would get fined, but that's bullshit. But it is what it is. I understand why golf needs this.
Yeah.
I hate that people were like, well, but all right, look, do you want him to be David Duval, who notoriously and very famously said after winning the Open Championship, he was flying home with the claret jug, and he goes, I'm at the top of the mountain, and I thought it'd feel way better than this. And David Duval didn't win another major the rest of his career because he basically just mailed it in because he didn't care anymore. Scottie wants to keep getting better. And think about this guy's schedule. He needs to fly home from Northern Ireland. I'm assuming he's going to pit stop in Dallas, and then he has to go to Memphis the next day to then get ready for the Memphis Open or whatever the tournament's called.
No, well, he had to go to freaking LA to watch, or New York to watch the premiere of Happy Gilmore last night and be on Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure people are upset, or not upset. I'm sure people were kind of people were flipping the channel on Sunday because Scottie was so clearly going to win the tournament, and there wasn't really any drama going down the stretch. But it's not his fault that he's so much better than everybody else. It's just not. And the battle for second place was pretty awesome to watch. But it was. I think it's a lot of fun just watching the best golfer in the world go out and absolutely dominate. I love that he went out and made a double bogey after hitting the lip of that bunker, which I still think was a terrible decision to try to hit that club out of that bunker based on the lead he had at that time. If you're going to melt down, that's why. And at that point, I think you just take a 60 and hit it over the bunker. But anyway, he makes that double bogey, and I texted my buddies. I was like, how much money can I gamble on Scottie Scheffler to make a birdie on the next hole? I was like, I'll put anything on it. And my buddies are like, what are the odds? And I was like, I think it's like plus 150. I went on there. It was plus 150. I put $50 on it. He put it to fucking 6 feet and he birdied it. It was ridiculous. It's unbelievable. Every time he makes a bogey or a double, he makes birdie the next hole. It's crazy. I think if you say it's boring, then, was Tiger winning the U.S. Open by 15 shots in 2000 boring? No. You just watched him go out and dominate a golf course while everyone else was getting their ass kicked by it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Brooks, what do you have? What are your thoughts on Scottie and the Open and all this stuff?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I don't get the butt stuff. He doesn't like.
Well, thankfully, you don't get the butt stuff, dude. You're married. It's pretty cool.
True. That was a good one, actually. Can't argue with that.
This is a one T butt. Okay.
You got me there. I'm usually the ones hand dishing those out. I just took a ricochet shot right there, but it's I think Scottie's just so easy to root for, man.
Yeah.
Like you said about David Duval, like there's so many athletes that get to the top of the mountain and then they're like, man, I worked so hard my entire life to get here, and it's like now it's over.
Now what?
It's like, well, it's over, and it's like, okay, now what do I do? It's like a couple days from now or the next day or whatever it is. It's like, okay, I guess I got to get back to work and do it again next year, or else I'm going to be seen as a failure or letting up. And I think that's why it's impressive with these athletes that can, like Scottie, that can just focus in and be like, all right, let's get the next one. And maybe we'll celebrate at the end of the career and see where he's at, see where the chips fall. Because at this point, we're starting to talk about Tiger and Scottie in the same conversation, which is pretty freaking cool. We kind of did that a little bit in the sense of like in this little dynastic run that he's on. But I mean, the career that he's starting to put together, we're getting to the point where they're getting in the same conversation. There's really nobody else. I mean, there's Jack. Jack's always going to be there. He's kind of like, it's him and Tiger. I shouldn't say it's just Tiger and Scottie, but Scottie's getting him just getting his name in that conversation is really cool. And I think we need to appreciate what we're watching right now.
He's put together a top 15 golfer of all time resume in like 3.5 years. Yeah. It's literally ridiculous what he's doing.
There were a bunch of great stats that came out after the win. Now, one I know we all saw, which is it's the exact same amount of days.
Yeah. 1197.
1,197 to win a fourth major, same as Tiger. That's
so interesting how that stuff how that stuff happens.
The numerology is crazy. Also, I saw one that said in his first 70 starts, he had no wins. In his like last 74, he had like 19. Something dumb.
Yeah.
You guys remember when Phil before the season, or like right at the beginning of the season, said that he wouldn't win, that Scottie wouldn't win a tournament. He wouldn't win a tournament this year.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is the fourth one he's won.
Yeah, including 2 majors.
Yeah.
Phil actually had himself a decent week, and then he kind of fell off the cliff at the end.
Yeah.
But
he made the cut.
Yeah, he made the cut.
DeChambeau.
Well. Bryson, we got to talk about Bryson.
That was wild.
Yeah, shooting 78 on the first day, going out there and just having nothing, and then going 16 under over the course of the next 3 rounds. If you remember, the winning score that Scheffler won at was 17 under. So if DeChambeau shoots anywhere near even par, we're talking about a completely different Sunday with him charging straight up the leaderboard. Right
at one point, he was in sole possession of second place. Now he was like 13 holes ahead of the guys that were at the top of the leaderboard to start the day.
Yeah,
but I mean, dude. That dude put on a show. That was actually really entertaining. And I was also really glad to see that Keegan Bradley came out and said that he will be, because he's not going to be an automatic qualifier for the Ryder Cup.
Mm-hmm. He's number 10.
He's not going to. Well, he's number 6 right now after winning everything, or after like what he did. But he will, because he cannot play in any more PGA Tour events. He will slide. He finished 10th overall in the Open.
He can play in more events, but I don't think you can earn more Ryder Cup points. I think you're locked in at this point.
Yeah, he's done with. Yeah, I don't think there's any more events that you can earn points in.
Because I think Harris English is number 6. No, yeah, I don't. I think they cut off the points for the Ryder Cup, and then after that, you can take he can take the play into account as the captain for like those last picks. But I think those top 6 at this point are locked in.
Okay.
To the team.
Well, so then regardless, I mean, he's going to be on there because Keegan Bradley said he will be part of the team, which is great because he got shafted the last time.
He should be, and he's a dog, and I 100% hope he will be. But as we transition into the Ryder Cup talk, the top 6 that are locked in for the USA are Scottie Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, JJ Spawn, Russell Henley, Bryson DeChambeau, and my boy Harris English, who had a unbelievable week this week. But the guys just outside looking in are JT, Colin Morikawa. You would assume those guys will be on the team. Ben Griffin kind of struggled the last couple of weeks. Don't know if he's an auto, if he's a lock.
Yeah.
Maverick McNeely's been playing good all year. Keegan's right in there with them. Brian Harmon had a good week this week with all of his waggling and wiggling, but we're not 100% sure what he's doing. And then right behind them is a bunch of studs: Patrick Cantlay, Sam Burns, Wyndham Clark, Daniel Berger, Cameron Young, Tony Finau. So I think those last 2 or 3 spots on this team are going to be really interesting to see what Keegan does. Like I said, I know JT and Morikawa are almost certainly going to be there. I don't know if any of the other American live guys besides Bryson DeChambeau is going to be on the team. I don't think Koepka will be. He had a terrible year. And Dustin Johnson is just although he had a decent week this week, is just a shell of himself at this point.
If Bryson's not on the team, that's ridiculous.
Well, no, he's locked in. He's top 5 anyway, so he's locked in on the team.
No, he's not. Okay.
Yeah, he's top. I'm looking at it right now. It's on the Ryder Cup website. He's number 5 behind Russell Henley. But yeah, anyway, it is scary though, because I mean, if you look over at the European Ryder Cup team, you're looking at some of the best golfers in the world, and I know that's what you should be looking at when it comes to the Ryder Cup. But I mean, listen to this crew of guys that they got: Rory, Bobby Mack, Tommy Fleetwood, Tyrrell Hatton, John Rahm, Shane Lowry, Sepp Straka, Justin Rose, Ludwig Oberg, Victor Hovland, Matt Fitzpatrick, who had an excellent week this week. We've got both Højgaards. We've got Thomas Detry. We've got Matt Wallace. I mean, just some of the best golfers in the world, and some of the hottest golfers in the world at this point too. It's going to be tough to take them down, and they're going to have some decisions to make. I don't know which Højgaard they're going to take, but they're not going to be able to fit both of them on the team.
Can we trade Wyndham Clark to the European team and just take one of the Højgaards?
Wyndham Clark had a Bryson week too. He shot 76 on the first day and then came in 5th.
Well, I wonder what he did in the clubhouse afterwards. Did he beat the shit out of something? Did he get himself barred from Royal Portrush?
Yeah, he won me some money this week, so I'm not as angry with him as I have been in the past. I am angry at Tom Kim, who has done this to me so many times, but he went 4 over the course of the last 3 holes to miss the cut by 1. Just, Tom, what are you doing, man? Can you just par the last couple holes? Just hit irons down the middle of the fairway. Stop hitting driver. Figure it out.
I'm sure what he was saying to himself the last 4 holes was, that guy Dustin Rothschild needs me. I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna sabotage him.
He's still so young. He's like 22, 23 years old, and he's unbelievably talented. But he continues to make terrible golf swings when he needs to make good ones. So really frustrated with him. But anyway.
I'd rather him try and fail instead of act like a child. And John Rahm acted like a child this weekend.
Honestly, I think John Rahm
he was kicking his club down the fairway.
Yeah. Did you see Sergio, by the way?
He picked it up and he started banging it into the fairway.
Yeah.
Making divots. Like you're an adult one. Forget you're a professional golfer. You know you're on television.
What happened to him, man? He had really good showings in the PGA and the U.S. Open. He started off slow in the Masters and ended up finishing hot. And a lot of people really liked him this week, including me. I thought he was gonna have a great week. He came out the first day, shot 2 under, which was kind of par for the course at that point for the top guys. I think the leader after day 1 was 4 or 5 under, so he's still right in the tournament. And then all of a sudden he's just out of the tournament. You don't see him anymore. I don't really know what I'm seeing out of John Rahm in these last couple years at the majors. I think he's got the game to do it, but I don't know if he's mentally there. Another Spaniard who went crazy, Sergio Garcia, on Sunday, snapped his driver. I don't know if you guys saw this on the second hole. He snapped his driver on the tee box and had to play without a driver for the rest of the round, and shot 3 under 68 with no driver. So good for Sergio. What are you doing, man? You're almost. He's got to be in his mid to late 40s at this point. Like, if you can't control your temperament by then, like, how many bad shots have you hit on a golf course? You got to be used to it by then.
Maybe it's just something in the Spaniards' food.
Yeah, maybe they're just fiery. They're wiry.
Wiry. Our kickers.
What's that mean? Wiry? What's that mean?
But going down the leaderboard, just to talk on just a couple other guys. Harris English, my boy, the auto top 20, top 30 bet. He's just won me so much money this year. He came in second. It's the second major this year where he came in second to Scottie Scheffler. He also came in second in the PGA at Quill Hollow. He tied for second in that event. He was solo second in this event. He came in T12 at the Masters. He made the cut at the U.S. Open, but didn't perform well over the weekend. Kind of got eaten alive by Oakmont, which a lot of people did. Going down below that, Chris Gotterup, who won last week at the Scottish Open, had a great weekend. He's making a push for the American Ryder Cup team. I know the points are going to be way behind for him, but if he has a good couple of weeks here in the playoffs, Keegan's going to have a decision to make on his hands, because he's been playing like a dog, and he reminds me of Koepka just based on his swing and stature, although he plays really slow, which I don't like.
These decisions Keegan Bradley are going to make, and you guys disagree with me if you want, it's going to be how the course plays to this specific player that's on the cut line, basically. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, for sure. It could. And they're playing at Bethpage, so it's going to be demanding. If they're not going to pick the Kevin Kistners, who only hit it 260, 270 down. They're going to have to pick longer hitters because just the course demands it. Speaking
of Kevin Kisner, he was on the broadcast. He was excellent.
He was excellent.
He was excellent. Did you see? It depends on when you watch. I only think they showed it once, but I'm sure you can pull it up on YouTube or something. A bat flies into
I saw it.
The booth, and Kisner gets underneath his suit coat and below the desk.
Yeah, and Dan Hicks is right next to him, just like, what are you doing?
Dan Hicks is like, and Kisner's down, and whoever was doing, and Mike Tirico goes, "This just happened a minute ago." He's got his microphone like, "This just happened a minute ago, guys. Take a look. A bat flew in." He goes, "That man, Kevin Kisner, underneath his suit coat is an avid hunter. You wouldn't be able to tell by this picture."
Yeah, he's like a Georgia boy or South Carolina boy.
Yeah.
Georgia. Is he more buttoned up during these broadcasts than normal?
I think so.
He's a little more buttoned up, but he still speak his mind.
He's so funny. All right.
Yeah, and him and Smiley's always on the course, and Bones are always on the course next to the players and reporting on, what clubs they're hitting and all that kind of stuff. And him and Smiley's banter back and forth on some of the stuff is really funny.
Good.
which is good to hear. It just felt it was more fun and it's more free flowing, and it's just what golf should be. It's a lot more fun to watch.
What a great sports name too, Smiley Coffin. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's like Carl Spackler from
to put a bow on it. Carl Spangler. Just to put a bow on the week for Scottie Scheffler. I think some of the comments that have come out about him, the caddies for the guys he was playing with. I think Matthew Fitzpatrick's caddy. They asked him after the third round, like, what did you see from Scottie? And he said, I've never seen anybody with better distance controls with their irons. Bones, who famously was Phil's caddy for the longest time, won several majors and was Justin Thomas's caddy for a couple majors, the few PGAs that he's won. So one of the most respected guys in golf said he never thought in his lifetime he would see anybody that came this close to Tiger. He said he basically just goes on to supplement that with a bunch of compliments to Scottie. I will say this, in the first 134 starts, Scottie's won 17 tournaments. In his first 134 starts, Tiger won 32. So, we're, and also in his first 134 starts, he had won 8 majors by now.
I want to say this. And once again, I'm not right. I'm not wrong. You guys disagree or agree. The competition that Tiger was playing against is nowhere remotely as good as to what Scottie Scheffler is dealing with.
You're right.
I mean, if you really think about some of the guys that challenged Tiger for some of those, like Bob May, Y.E. Yang, Rocco Mediate. Now, I'm not saying these are bad golfers, but these guys aren't like, they don't have 5-6 majors like that. Now, I know Phil did near the end, right? But Phil would always find a way to slip on a banana peel somewhere. So, I mean, when you have Rory's and Koepkas and John Rahms and DeChambeau's and Justin Thomas's and Spieth riding up your ass, as opposed to Fuzzy Zeller behind you, Tiger. And it sounds like I'm shitting on Tiger. I'm just saying the competition's better now.
No, I agree with you, but I think you can do this in any sport and with any era, right? Like, I mean, Jack, you can say the same thing about Tiger versus Jack. Jack wasn't playing. A lot of people will say Jack was playing against plumbers and electricians, and that's what they say about the old school basketball guys too.
Jordan. Yeah,
exactly. But you have to compare, and Jordan says this a lot. Like, do you think you're the best? And he's just like, I think I was the best of my era, but I can't compare myself to different eras because we don't know. Like, I think you have to judge these guys in comparison to their era. Jack was the best in his era by a mile. Tiger was the best in his era by a mile. Scottie is the best in his era by a lot right now, and there's a lot better and more well-rounded competition. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I'll disagree with one part of this, and just follow me. Golf always remains the same. St. Andrews is still St. Andrews. In football or in basketball, modern medicine, some rule changes have occurred. So I do get you cannot compare eras in basketball and football, but like the courses are still the same. And
but the equipment's different.
The equipment's different, and also the way that the courses are maintained is much different. Like St. Andrews in 1960, like the fairways are still open and the ball is still going to roll, but the courses aren't maintained the same way, and the greens aren't as fast, and they're not, you know what I mean? Like the rough's not as high. Sure. Or maybe it's higher in some certain, but you're right. Brooks, the ultimate equalizer is all this technology. Like the amount of, like back then they're hitting butter knives, and little Spalding golf balls that are probably going like 150 yards. You know what I mean? Like,
but I mean, you put today's equipment in those guys' hands. Like, who knows, right? Like, it could be the same. It could be better back then. It could be worse. Like, you kind of don't know. And that's the hard part.
The ball's the biggest thing. That's what you hear that's what you hear these golfers say, is that the ball is so much better. Yeah.
True.
Now
it's just more consistent too. Like they know exactly how it's going to come off the face every single time. Back then, the balls were very inconsistent, and anything could happen.
Yeah, they weren't using stealth bomber metal for their driving shafts. I think that might actually be one of the shafts is made out of like stealth bomber.
It needs to be made out of wood.
By the way, go to the equipment topic. I heard a new term, at least this is new to me, but they kept saying it over and over and over again. It wasn't just one commentator either. whenever someone will pull out like a 60-degree, they go, oh, he's going with a flat stick. I'm like, I've never heard it called the flat stick in my life. Or maybe they were
flat
talking
stick
about
is a putter.
Or they're talking about the putter. They're talking about the putter. I've never heard a putter called a flat stick in my life.
Oh, I've heard it called that so many times.
And that's just me.
It's there's also, I don't know, man. Like the guys today, guys today compared to like when we were playing college baseball, take much better care of themselves than we did. Yeah. In Major League Baseball, like in our era, like it's just it's ever changing, ever evolving. But you also have to think like some of these guys, like, hey, Jordan probably would have changed the way he took care of himself too if there was other guys doing it. Like, so it's hard to say about comparing the eras, because you also don't know like if guys are going to change like what they do to how the things, like, because guys are bigger, stronger, faster, and we just have a lot more knowledge now about just nutrition and whatever else. So yeah, it's tough, but it's cool to see. Like Scottie's not even 30 yet, right? Or just turned 30.
29.
I think he's
29.
Right around.
They kept bringing up he's 29 because someone kept going. He's an old looking 29. He looks like he's 36.
And I mean, people say this all the time. It's golf. Like this could, I mean, he has a chance to beat Tiger's record with what you guys are saying, with better competition, which I agree. So it's interesting.
Years. All right, that puts him at 44 or 45, depending on when his birthday is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, how many majors is that? That's another 60 majors.
Injury pending. Yeah,
and that's the problem with Tiger too. Like Tiger's dominance is so short because of all the injuries and all the bullshit he went through later in his career. You have to understand, like, Tiger's maybe his counting numbers aren't as high as Jack. He doesn't have as many majors as Jack, but he didn't play in as many majors as Jack either. And same thing. I mean, he has the most tournament wins of all time. He's tied with Sam Snead. But I think if you give him a full healthy career, it's completely different. So I don't know. I'm the biggest Tiger.
Yeah, and he played in some majors and has played in some majors that he shouldn't have been playing in. Health wise. So
anyway, Scottie's got 3 legs now of the Grand Slam.
He does probably have 3 legs. You're right.
He has 3 legs of the Grand Slam.
He's like he's got 3 legs.
Interestingly, it took him 25 major starts to get to this number. I believe is the same exact amount of major starts as Rory McIlroy had when he won his 4th major and his 3rd leg of the Grand Slam. And then obviously we know what happened with Rory McIlroy. It took him about 40 more starts to finally get his at the Masters this year. And I think he had a little bit of that Scottie thing too. Like he accomplished it. Now what's next? What's the next hill to climb? So I think, but it looked like he returned to form. He came in the top 6 or 7 of this tournament. So he's playing better golf. For his next 5 years, he's going to be trying to win the U.S. Open and complete that Grand Slam. The next 5 hosts of the U.S. Open are Shinnecock Hills in New York. Last time the U.S. Open was hosted at Shinnecock Hills, the winning score was +4.
And I think it actually falls on Scottie Scheffler's 30th birthday. That's Sunday. Somebody brought it up on
it is June 21st. It is. And then after that, we have Pebble, which is one of the most historic sites in golf. After that, we have Winged Foot, where Phil has notoriously blown up on the last hole to not win the U.S. Open. And then after that, we got Pinehurst and then Marion, and then we're going to Riviera. So those are just the next 5 U.S. Open sites, just some potential spots where he could win the career Grand Slam. It would be really awesome to see him do it at Pebble. But we'll move on from golf now. I think we talked quite a bit. If you're looking to bet golf, just bet Harris English top 30 every single week, because it's going to hit every single week. He's been in 16 tournaments this year, or 18 tournaments this year. He made 16 cuts, and he's got 10 top 25s. He comes to the top 25 every time.
Before we go to football, because I'm assuming that's where we're going to transition next, I want to ask Brooksy, and then just kind of go over it. The WNBA All-Star Game happened over the weekend. Now, obviously, it was a dud because Caitlin Clark got hurt, and it was in Indiana. Brooks, were you still in town for when the game went on? Did you see anything over the weekend where you had a big influx of business?
Yeah, I flew out here yesterday, so Yeah, it was rainy all weekend, so that kind of held a lot of stuff up going around town. I think that contributed to kind of being a dud as well. Yeah, it wasn't. It was a dud because a mixture of the weather and everybody knew that Caitlin Clark wasn't going to play in it or be involved in like the All-Star game weekend. Really, I mean, she was obviously there, like was on the sidelines doing all that stuff, but she wasn't going to participate in anything with that injury she had right before the break. So yeah, I mean, there still was. I mean, there's still stuff going on around. It seemed like there's people down there and everything, but I'm sure it would have been way bigger.
Buddy of mine that works for SeatGeek said that tickets dropped by 50 to 60% in value.
It does every time she gets hurt. Every time she gets hurt. Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's a big number.
That is a big number. Yeah, you guys want to move on to some football stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Brian, you had some Players Association stuff you wanted to talk about. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Can you just fill me in on that before we get into the other
Sure.
stuff?
I'll make it as easy as possible because it's a mess. Pablo Torre, who is been on a bunch of ESPN platforms, runs a podcast called Pablo Torre Finds Out, which is basically like an investigative reported podcast.
Yeah, you were talking about this a couple of weeks ago with us.
Yeah, he found a 61-page document that said that there was collusion and that the NFLPA, specifically a guy named Lloyd Hamilton, and most likely the NFLPA's chief strategy officer, which is like the vice president, for lack of a better term, were aware of this and kept it from the players. They actually got it sequestered so that the players could not find out. Lloyd Hamilton, the president of the NFLPA, also has stake in the Carlyle Group, which is a group that is allowed to buy parts of NFL teams. So get equity stake in NFL teams. So the guy that's standing up for the players against, for lack of a better term, the big bad wolf and Roger Goodell in the NFL is actually in cahoots with them at the exact same time. That's not a good look. That's a conflict of interest. Also, they're now discovering documents. It's funny how when one domino falls, you begin to see a bunch more. Documents are coming out that they had to have business meetings at one Atlanta strip club called Magic City.
Good wings.
Great wings. And they had to go to another strip club as well to have a business meeting. And they billed all of the expenses from car rides to everything they had at the strip clubs to the NFLPA.
Yeah.
So
and then not only that, like to build on that, they wrote off like 7 hours at Tootsie's one day. McAfee's been very loud about for years now. Why do you need to have a 2-week NFLPA meeting in at the nicest hotel in Hawaii with all the family members, and that all gets written off as well? Yeah, that's all starting to come to light as well. But go on.
They're stealing from the Players Association,
and apparently there was a vote
from the players.
There was a vote held by that. There were 2 people up for the NFLPA to become president. It was Lloyd Hamilton, another guy named David something. And it was voted 10-1 that they should go with the other guy, not Lloyd Hamilton. They should go with David something. And they still went with Lloyd Hamilton. And J.C. Treader is very hesitant to say why they did this. And apparently the people that voted on this were not allowed to know the candidates until the day of the vote. So it's like going into a presidential election. We don't do politics here. It's like going into a presidential election and not knowing who the 2 people are on the ballot. That makes no fucking sense.
I remember that, yeah.
So
that's insane.
There's just so much weird shit going on behind the scenes. Now, J.C. Treader, the vice president or chief strategy officer, has stepped down. And there's just a lot of shadow games going on here. I would not trust the NFLPA if I was an NFL player. There's a lot of people covering their ass now. The Carlyle Group that Lloyd Hamilton was also a part of, he has resigned from that as well. It seems like the NFL is a mess. It's like the players are getting screwed in this, and the NFL owners just got to be laughing their asses off.
Well, yeah.
What Pablo Torre said this is going to do for like the end user, aka the consumer fan, it's going to put a stop to basically all these talks about 18-game schedules, moving forward, international play, stuff like that needs to be worked out between the 2 sides. They're just going to put a halt on that while the NFLPA and the union get themselves in line.
Yeah, I think the head guy is either a couple other guys are getting fired / stepping down as well on top of J.C. Treader. And I think McAfee came out and basically endorsed another guy that he thinks should be in there that actually wants it keeps the good of the players at heart. Was a player as well. Jay Wright, I think his name is.
Yeah, Jay Wright. He was like a crisis management specialist for some company. Like, so he's got.
Are you sure he wasn't the head coach of Villanova basketball for a while?
I don't think so.
No.
Great,
but McAfee's been saying this for a while now. He's also said I pulled out of the Players Association. I stopped buying into it my last 2 years because I keep calling out the same shit a year after year when we have our meetings, and they just glance right past it and goes, I didn't get my check from Madden for a couple of years, which was worth nothing basically. He's like, also, they like to grandstand on oh, we get you money for selling your jersey or your apparel or your name, 30 cents on the dollar. He's like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
The last 2 years, I didn't pay my dues. He goes, I wouldn't stop going to those fucking meetings.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, because he was I would stand up and yell about stuff, and they just basically tell me to shut up and move on. So he's like, so I just didn't feel like they had the best interest at heart. He goes, and I felt like they were just stealing from us. And it turns out
it's a pure mess.
They kind of were. So
I mean, if you think about it, when this story broke, it's the dead period in sports, and it's really, really bad given that it was a dead period in sports. But it's also to expound on that. The NFL players are all getting back together for most likely the first time. The vets and everybody are getting together for the first time, either yesterday or today. And now that's got to be the number one topic of conversation in those locker rooms.
Hopefully, it should be for those guys' sake. I mean, I think JJ Watt was on the show talking about the average expectancy for these guys is 3.5 years or 3 years, and so it's hard to get people on the same page. And I understand that because those guys want to play and make their money. Because they don't know how long they're going to be there. But I mean, it's the double-edged sword of hey, if you do end up making it in this league, we're getting screwed here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happens next. I don't know if the players come together and make their own, just say, hey, we're not buying into the PA anymore. Screw you guys. We'll go hire our own lawyers and make a new union or something. I don't know what that entails. And how that's going to shake out and everything like that, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting if they don't get somebody in there that has their best interests at heart.
And look, I know this is a boring story to most people. I get it, but we're both
sports. But they're fighting against billion-dollar corporations here. I mean,
we're sports junkies. This is behind the curtain shit, and I understand that, but this is the stuff that I actually enjoy. So I watch those train wreck series. I like to see stuff that went on behind the scenes. And this actually matters in the grand scheme of things about why players are pissed off or make comments like they do when they actually have a microphone in their face after a game.
And I try to be player first too. I mean, because owners have gotten to run the narrative for a very long time, and then everybody just gets pissed off. Like you said, when a player comes out and says something, it's shut up and do your job, and you make a ton of money. But it's also hey, he's pissed at these billionaires who are not giving them their fair share of something. I understand they make a lot of money to play a kids game, but it's also when you realize you're getting screwed.
Yeah,
I mean, you're going to feel slighted in a way, no matter what, no matter how much money you're making. If you're not making, yeah,
exactly. You can't just tell a player hey, shut up and tackle or shut up and catch. Because okay, hey, I'm going to go out there and do that. Maybe I break my fucking neck, and if I do, I only get if I'm vetted by the NFL after 5 years of service.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, after 4 years of service, you only get 5 years of fucking healthcare after that. That's pretty sweet. So why don't you shut up? Hey, how about this, buddy? Why don't you shut up and go mow your lawn? I don't tell you how to mow your fucking lawn. All right, shut up. Yeah,
you get vested after 5 years, and the average expectancy is 3.3. That something doesn't seem right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, invested, and you get vested, and then you only get 5 years afterwards because they know what's coming down the line. So, I mean, come on.
I love the hypocrisy. Some guy who's an accountant will be like, "These guys should just shut up and dribble." It's okay, you should shut up and just do numbers.
Right? You'd be pissed. You'd be pissed if you weren't getting your health care, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where Pablo Torre's getting all of his information and all of this stuff, but I think he's ruffling a lot of feathers that and that probably, I think he needs to get himself some security details. I'm saying.
He probably needs to go to the NFL players and say, hey, if they come after me, you guys got my back here. I need some help.
I need some linemen.
Yeah. Not only that, I need some money backing as well
Yeah.
when I start inevitably getting sued for a lot of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
So
moving on, a couple. He's there. He's not. Trey Hendrickson, as expected, not reporting to Bengals camp amid his contract dispute. Micah Parsons is at the Cowboys camp despite his unsettled contract. A couple of names. We kind of expected Hendrickson. Parsons, I would have expected him probably not to show up, but he did anyway. I'm sure they're still working on a deal there. Mike Williams has retired from the NFL. Don't know if this is the biggest news in the world, but former top 5 overall pick, played for the Chargers for a while. Just wanted to mention it just because I saw it and I thought it was
feels
crazy.
Like his career never got started.
He just got hurt every year.
Yeah.
He was a stud at Clemson too.
God, he's good.
Yeah, those Clemson receivers, Sammy Watkins and him didn't work out. DeAndre Hopkins worked out real well,
and so did T. Higgins.
Yeah, right about that.
I always forget T. Higgins up there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Phil signed like a 1-day contract with the Chargers to retire a Charger, which I thought was weird because he retired as a Colt like 3 years ago. But I don't know. Does that reset his Hall of Fame clock? I don't know.
I doubt it.
I don't know if he's going into the Hall of Fame anyway, but my feelings on that. The last thing I wanted to talk about football wise, this DC mayor, like Trump stuff. I don't want to get into the politics of it all, but what do we think about the Commander situation with RFK? Do we think this is going to get done eventually? What are we expecting out of this? Brian, let's go to you first.
Once again, not doing the political thing, just kind of the backstory is Trump came out and said, he wants the Cleveland Guardians to go back to the Indians. He wants the Washington Commanders to go back to the Redskins. The Guardians already came out and dug their heels in and said they're not doing it. The Commanders scares me for a reason, and one reason only. Not because I don't think they want to go back to Redskins. It's because they have a stadium associated with this, and they want to get that passed. And if Donald Trump is going to, put his nose in this and maybe block it, if the Commanders don't do what he wants, that can be a really, really odd situation. Once again, I'm not going political. It's just that is part of the situation. A stadium is involved in this. And I don't really know how that works between Maryland and D.C. and the finances because, the current stadium's in Landover, Maryland. But that's the only thing that concerns me. I do not think the team is going to change its name. No. They just changed it, 3 years ago, something like that? Yeah. Do they want to put this back on the table and maybe it's good for a year or two, and then all of a sudden Trump leaves office, and then everyone wants to clamor to go to another name again? It's like, let's stick with something here.
I don't think the name. No, I'm more interested in the stadium. Like if the stadium's going to get built, if it's going to be at the old RFK site, like they're saying it's going to be. We've seen these deals kind of get done and then fall through. We just saw it in Tampa, but obviously that was extenuating circumstances with the hurricane knocking the roof off of the Trop and everything. Brooks, do you have any thoughts on this or just the stadium stuff in general?
It's going to be interesting to watch, and I don't know what's going to happen here, but I mean, I will say my only comment is that like, stay out of fucking professional sports and let the teams do what they want to do. Like, stop sticking your nose in this, man. Like, if the team wants to go rebuild this, don't block it because of a name or this or that. Like, this is not somewhere where he needs to be sticking his nose in. Like, this is their organization. Like, come on now. Unless like the Indian, like the Native American people want it, like say, hey, we want you to bring the Redskins back. That was kind of like a cool thing for us. Like, you're honoring our heritage. Like if they see it that way, or if they see it's derogatory, I don't know. I've never talked to them. I've never seen a ton of them come out and talk about it, really. So I don't know. So I think they should just let the organization figure out what they want to do for their organization.
It seemed like headway was being made I know there's some hiccups here and there, and one came out about 2 weeks ago. It had nothing to do with Trump. It seemed like there's a lot of progress being made between DC mayor and the team about RFK. Now, once again, there's positives and negatives to every story, but this just seems like it's another political push for something. You can take a victory lap.
Yeah. Boys, I gotta run.
All right,
I've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes, and I gotta spend some time with some family. Love you guys. Appreciate the hell out of you, and I'll see you guys on Thursday.
Love you.
Bye.
See you,
everybody. Bye.
All right. Well, if Brooks is going to be ditching, I think we'll just save this. You want to save the snake draft for Thursday?
Yeah, that's fine. I love the draft, though. By the way,
yeah.
bald-headed athletes. This is going to be great.
It's bald athletes. We were going to do it today, but he's on vacation in California. He spent enough of his time with us today. So I think this is probably a good place to finish anyway.
Yeah, sure.
I don't really have anything else other than I saw Dame Lillard went back to Portland. He's going to be out this year, but he's going to finish his career in Portland. It looks like where he should have finished it probably to begin with. Good for him. But yeah,
I was a little bummed when I first saw it because I really want him to win a championship. He's one of my favorite players. He just seems like a badass.
You think it's a completely done? He's not going to win a championship in Portland?
I think so. But, I mean, look, the NBA
you don't think the Trailblazers are going to win this year, man?
No, I don't. And he's not going to be playing anyway. But I did read the article today that he was extremely happy to go home, going down the same streets that he basically said he lived his entire adulthood in. He said he didn't know how much it really meant to him until he was driving to the facility yesterday to sign the contract with his family in the car.
Yeah.
And he also, I guess this was said during the presser for the signing, that Chauncey Billups said that he's going to be the highest paid assistant coach in league history because he's going to make the work every single day on the bench.
I love that it's like 3 years, $40 million. They could just sign him for like a small, in the NBA terms, that's like a tiny deal because he's just making $25 million from the Milwaukee Bucks for 5 straight years for nothing.
I mean, he averaged like 26 points last year, which is really good. Now he only played 50 some odd games, but this contract allows him to have a lot of financial flexibility for free agents. Now you got to get people to go out to Portland. But I mean, if Dame Lillard's got some sway with some of these guys, especially guys that put in the Olympic team with them, maybe that can happen.
Yeah, you also have to understand that he's going to be a 38-year-old coming off an Achilles, and the history of the NBA says that's not going to go very well.
Yeah, he'll be 36 when he steps on the court again.
Okay, whatever. It's 38.
Yeah,
that's 38, 36. We saw it with Klay Thompson in his early 30s. He wasn't even hardly able to play for the first couple of years. He was playing, but he wasn't Klay Thompson. And he still never is. He was never Klay Thompson again. But anyway, are we going to allow WWE wrestlers in the bald athlete?
I know where you're going, and yes, the answer is yes. I have 2 written down.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are they The Rock and Stone Cold?
Yes.
Okay. What about Kurt Angle? No Kurt Angle love?
I didn't put Kurt Angle in there.
What about King Kong Bundy? No King
I saw that one.
Also, what if they're bald now, but they weren't bald when they were playing?
I was going to ask you guys the same question.
So, like Jerry Rice had hair most of his career, but he's bald now, and he was bald on the Seahawks.
Yeah. So we got.
Do I get Seahawks Jerry Rice?
No. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it, but we got to ask Brooks because it's 3 of us. So like usually it's 2-1, or it's unanimous one way or the other. So that's the only 2 options. So what we get Brooks on here, we can ask and we'll see. I'm cool with it. But I just remember bald Jerry Rice more than I remember Jerry Rice.
I think he had some cornrows when he was on Oakland.
Denver. He was like in training camp with Denver. He had cornrows.
Yeah.
And maybe with the Seahawks too.
I actually have an announcer on mine too. I'll save that for. Yeah. Anyway, we are going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful sunny Tuesday in July. We will be back on Thursday. We got 2 drafts on Thursday. We're going to do best bald athletes, and we're also going to do our 2010s all-time baseball team. We did the 1990s and the 2000s. We had to take last week off. We are going to be returning to that. We're going to do the 2010s and the 2025 or the 2020s just thus far. And we'll be doing that over the course of the next 2 weeks. Sorry.
And because it's a slow time in sports, maybe we do some call-ins.
Yeah, we'll do some call-ins on Thursday, I would think, as well. We'll react to however the Orioles games go for the rest of the week, and we'll talk about some more stuff. Maybe we'll get a trade, maybe like a week early trade. That usually there's a bigger trade that kind of happens this time, and then it kind of settles down for a few days, and then all the trades start flowing in after that. Yeah. We'll get back and we'll talk about training camp if anything comes out of that. If Trey Hendrickson gets a new deal, if Micah Parsons gets a new deal, if anything happens with the stuff we talked about today, moving forward. But anyway, thank you very much for listening. We appreciate the hell out of y'all, and we will see you on Thursday.
See you on Thursday. See you, buddy. Be good, man.